Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Digitally Transformed. Today, I have a lovely new guest with me. Her name is Heather Arrington. She's an account technology strategist, and she works very intimately with a lot of our clients. She considers herself a Microsoft librarian, which is perfect because today we plan to talk all about Microsoft's new commerce experience. If you are an organization with a Microsoft subscription, it's very important that you pay attention to a few changes that are taking place this next month on March 1st. So we'll get into that in a second, but how are you doing today, Heather?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. It's still morning over here, so it's still waking up, but it's good. Happy to be here with you. So let's just kind of start with a very basic question. What exactly is the Microsoft New Commerce Experience?
The Microsoft New Commerce Experience is a naming convention. The program started technically in 2019 when they released the Azure plan, which in a nutshell allowed organizations to have multiple Azure subscriptions without putting in long change order requests and introduced global billing principles. So they kind of level set the price changes. And more recently, when they were looking at a lot of client feedback that they were getting, they recognized a lot more level sets that they needed to do across the modern work environment. And so they decided to extend that naming convention and call these level set changes that they're introducing this year, along with the price increase to meet, everybody's increasing their prices this year, the changes in marketplace, the new commerce experience.
Absolutely. Can you tell us when it started?
So the name started in 2019. The announcement started late last year, but the changes to pricing will start March 1st. So while you can take advantage of some of the benefits sooner, like you could choose to switch to the licenses now because a lot of the availabilities are open, it's kind of hard to pinpoint an actual start because the name's been around and the announcements came out. There's some availabilities now, but the actual program doesn't take full effect until July.
July.
But
Okay.
starts to in March. It starts to in March, takes full effect in July for the rest of the changes.
Got it.
It's a hard question to answer.
Okay. But we need to really, truly pay attention to March 1st. That's a very important date. So if I'm an organization and I'm listening to this, they might be asking, okay, new commerce experience. We know when it starts. We have a somewhat of an idea of what this is, but like, why does this matter? How does it affect me as an organization? And especially maybe a mid-sized organization. Can you tell us how that would affect them?
Absolutely. So let's start with the first date, March 1st. That's the first signal that we have of things are absolutely changing. Not you could take advantage of it, but for sure changes are coming. We have several licenses that Microsoft has decided to make permanent pricing changes for. Microsoft Business Basic is going from $5 to $6. Business Premium from 20 to 22, E1 from 8 to 10, E3 from 20 to 23, E5, and this is in the office, from 35 to 38, Microsoft E3 from 32 to 36. So a lot of those are email SKUs that people rely on heavily. So if you find yourself in one of those SKUs, the only way to avoid those price changes in March is to sign a contract sooner because, again, some of the benefits that they're offering started when they first announced. And they are offering reserved seats type situations where you can have a year contract or a 3-year contract for your licenses. So you could avoid this perpetual bump in these email SKUs by signing a contract sooner. And then again in July, they will have an overall 20% price increase for all modern work SKUs. So your Microsoft, your Power BI, the emails, your graphing, your Dynamics, your core business functions will go up 20% on your monthly licenses, that premium for having that flexibility. But if you sign on an annual contract at that point, you can avoid that 20% fee. However, after March 1st, those SKUs that I mentioned will have had that price increase.
Yes. Okay. So that's why March 1st is so important. Okay. So as an organization listening to this, all I'm hearing is prices are increasing. What's the good news about this?
So the good news is, well, first off, you're listening to this, right? You're listening to this. And so you're finding out you can get reservations.
Right.
You can be a savvy shopper and find out that they are allowing you to have these options. There are some flexible billing options open. Not all partners allow for this, but you can opt for month-to-month billing on a 1 or 3 year license contract commitment. You can change that throughout the term of the contract if your partner allows. It's all up to your partner because they're on the hook with Microsoft for that 3 years regardless every month, right? You can upgrade your SKUs. So if you have committed for that 15 licenses for 3 years and you need 20, you can upgrade. You can't downgrade though. And you only have 72 hours after making that change to cancel any changes. And you are on the hook if you kept a license for 24 hours for that prorated 24 hours. So you do have to be very careful with your calculations, but you are savvy, you're listening to us, you know, hey, if I'm careful with my numbers, I know what I have, I know what I need. Another thing to be aware of from the last point is if you have your annual licenses, you've chosen what you're stable with, you cannot add more SKUs to that contract unless you're just upgrading a SKU. So say you have all of your email SKUs and you decide you need a Power BI, that's going to be monthly until you hit your next term period. So you have to be careful. But in the good news, again, you know this now, right? They are being very transparent with their promos. So as before where you had to almost dig for promos, now they are available. My favorite one right now is they have the ADP2 is free for those that have a partner, and that is probably gibberish to most people, but it means that things that used to be only available for an E5 license are now available to anybody with a partner. Risk-based conditional access, identity protection for risky sign-ins, access reviews is all security related, entitlement management, privileged identity just-in-time access. So anybody who is wondering, like, is my security enough for identity? Try it out. Like, so my other favorite promo that we have going on right now is 25% off Business Voice with a calling plan. So if you were thinking about trying Business Voice, it's a good time to try because you can get 25% off a business calling plan, which is a good savings with your phone bill. Trials are also a lot more available. You can get 25 trials for most any licenses. You have to be a little careful though, because you can only convert all of your licenses. So you don't want to just go get 25 trial licenses and then put them on critical employees and then suddenly you can't convert 25 because you only need 15.
This is why it's so important to have a partner like us who can help you kind of figure all of this out, walk you through it. And what I'm hearing from you too is like, this is, if you are someone who's been considering getting Microsoft subscription licensing, or you are someone who has it, like this is the time right now prior to March 1st to really look into what you need, what you're gonna need in the next year or longer than that, and really lock in that pricing, because you're gonna save a lot, especially if prices are increasing up to 20%. Before we end this, what is something that an organization should take away from all of this? Like, what is something that they should really remember? And obviously reaching out to us, but anything else?
Well, you got to remember there's good things too. They've added new action packs for Dynamics. So now you can add things like customer voice and customer insights, which you didn't have before. With the trial licenses, if you have a good partner, to cancel and then get new ones so you can get the promos, what your promos are. Being an informed advocate's important. It's important to have a partner that you trust, and you're learning a little bit of those things that you need to ask, like, do I need a license review? What licenses do I need? These price changes don't affect military or nonprofit organizations. So if you're one of those, you can breathe and just take advantage of your promos and look for those, license extras, like in those dynamic SKUs that you might want to take advantage of. And, these programs have been out since 2011. This is the first price increase, and the cost of hardware is getting more expensive. So it's kind of, part of business. But if you have the right partner and you want to take advantage of all the customization options that Microsoft has been putting into these licenses, now is a good time to sit down and have those reviews.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also did this week put out an awesome blog post that really goes into depth about a lot of the changes, what the program is. So we'll put that in the description, and we'll also share that with you if you're interested. But thank you so much, Heather. I appreciate you, coming on here to explain everything to us. And yeah, we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.